Hey guys, Sean here, and it is time for my long-awaited review, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have said that I would be reviewing these, but it took me a while to get the time, and I figure, I may as well knock them out now before I forget. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, primarily because it's the first in the trilogy. So it is. Let's see. Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring is a 2001 epic high fantasy film directed by Peter Jackson, based on the first volume of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings trilogy, published between 1954 and 1955. It is the first installment in the Lord of the Rings, and was followed by Two Towers and Return of the King, both based on the second and third volumes of the series. It's fun trivia for you guys, though. Alright, because these three movies exist, regardless of what most people want to say, because these three exist, this movie has been rendered basically the A New Hope of Middle-earth, meaning it may be the first released, but it's the fourth chronologically, which I don't have a problem with. So basically, let's see. So the story is basically set in Middle-earth. It tells of the Dark Lord Sauron, who's seeking the One Ring of Power. The ring has found its way to a young hobbit named Frodo Baggins. The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance as Frodo and 8 companions who form the titular Fellowship of the Ring begin their journey to Mount Doom in the land of Mordor, the only place where the ring can be destroyed. So this movie, like I said, was released in 2001, and this film had a bit of a production history. It was in development in the 1990s, where Jackson was trying to get the rights to adapt Lord of the Rings, and so the original studio, who I think had it, like MGM or something, or whoever, I don't remember. It was MGM and Miramax, I think. No, Miramax was the first people to have the rights to Lord of the Rings, and they told Jackson, and Jackson was planning to adapt it into 2 movies. Not, because he didn't think any studio would adapt 3 movies. But when he took it to Miramax Pictures, or whatever they're called, they said, no, we want it all in 1 movie. And then Jackson was like, well, I can't squeeze this all into a movie. So and then it's basically, they told him, and so they basically said, you have like a month or so to find a new studio, or we're shutting down the project. So Jackson shopped around for new studios, took to Universal, Disney, all possible movie studios, until a friend of his, Mark Ordensky, I think is how you pronounce it, set up a meeting with the New Line heads, Michael Shinn and Bob Shaye, and after Jackson showed them a 35-minute demo reel or something, Bob Shaye said, aren't there 3 books? You should make 3 movies. And so they went right to work into 3 movies, all being produced at the same exact time. Basically all simultaneously. But that's the production history of the original trilogy. So the cast, for the cast is Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, Sean Astin, Cate Blanchett, John Rhys Davies, Billy Boyd, Dominic Cooper, or not Dominic Cooper, that's Captain America in May, and Marvel one. Dominic Monaghan, Orlando Bloom, Christopher Lee, Hugo Weaving, Sean Bean, Ian Holm, and Andy Serkis. So I actually like this movie. I think it's a great start to Middle-earth. Well, back in the early 2000s, it was a great start to Middle-earth, like I just said. Because now, this is the start to Middle-earth. But yeah, back then, this was a great start to Middle-earth. It's a great movie with some great action. Howard Shore's music, really well done. Really complements the movie. The cast is amazing. An amazing cast. The action scenes I thought were really cool. I'll admit this movie's a little slow in parts, but I think it's more because they're trying to set since this is technically the first movies back then. They were trying to set stuff up. Not to mention this movie's around 3 hours long, which is another reason for it being a little slow, which I'm fine with. Unlike most people, where they're talking about these movies and criticize the length. Yeah, you guys can bitch about The Hobbit being too long, and yet you don't bitch about this. Granted, Lord of the Rings has more source material to work off of, but still, not the point. You people make no sense. Honestly. But, anyway. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a lot of fun to watch. I just got done watching the extended cut, or extended edition, whatever you want to call it, or the special extended edition, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for the second time, actually. Most of the time I usually watch this because I don't have the extended version. And I know what you're asking, then how did I watch the extended version? Well, it's called I borrowed it from somebody I know. That's basically what I can say, as I borrowed it. So yeah, look forward to my review of The Two Towers, and hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoy the review, and hope you guys enjoyed this review. Look forward to my Two Towers review coming up. See you guys. Hey guys, I'm Sean. Hey guys, Sean here with my review of Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. This is the second installment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and chronologically the fifth overall in the Middle-earth saga. I did say fifth chronologically, just so you guys aren't confused. This was released in 2002, once again under the direction of Peter Jackson. This movie is based on both the second and third volumes of The Lord of the Rings. The second and third books, because with this film and Return of the King, they put stuff from the Return of the King book into this movie, and stuff from this book into the Return of the King movie. Because during the development of the trilogy, Jackson wanted to reorganize the events so they're more linearly and chronologically, which required restructuring and re-editing of the books. And yet, no, I'm just gonna, I think I'm just gonna save my bitching about the comparison of Hobbit and Lord of the Rings for another video. Actually, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Oh, I just got a new video idea. So anyway, back to Two Towers. So yeah, this movie continues the plot of Fellowship with the Ring, and basically intercuts three different storylines. Where storyline A is basically Frodo and Sam continue their journey to Mount Doom to destroy the ring, meeting Gollum, and who is the ring's former owner, prior to Bilbo. Storyline number B, letter B, is basically Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli come into contact with people from Rohan and basically help them fight in a battle called Helm's Deep, known as the Battle of Helm's Deep, which actually took them was 4 months of endless night shooting. I shit you not, it took them 4 months to actually shoot the Battle of Helm's Deep. Literally, I shit you not. It's called Watch the Bonus Material. They tell you. Storyline B is, or C actually, that Merry and Pippin escape capture and meet Treebeard, who helped plan an attack on Isengard. So overall, what do I think of this movie? I think it's a great film. The action scenes are really cool, especially the Battle of Helm's Deep. Like I said, took 4 months to film. The cast do all good with their roles, and spoilers. In this movie, we were led to believe that Gandalf is dead after fighting the Balrog of Morgoth. Spoilers. Gandalf returns, which is honestly something I don't think they should have put in the trailer. You know, because if it was intended to be a surprise, it should not have been in the trailer. The opening is basically, we get a kind of a recap of the scene from Fellowship where he's fighting the Balrog, but yet instead of following the other guy, like a scene did in the last movie, the camera actually goes down and follows Gandalf to see his fight with the Balrog. Although, due to the fact that it's kind of being revealed as a dream that Frodo's having, it's kind of left ambiguous as to whether that actually happened or not, because the way they edit that, it's like soon as the Balrog and Gandalf hit the water, like Frodo wakes up and it's made it look like a dream. It's like it's confusing. It's basically I guess it's meant to be left ambiguous. I guess, I don't know. It's just confusing to me, really. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie. Is it better? Is this as good as Fellowship? It depends, really. I mean, this does have slower moments than Fellowship did, because I think, in my opinion, Fellowship had kind of a quicker pace, whereas this one had a little more slower moments. Because you have the Ents they talk so slowly. You know the problem. Yeah, they basically talk slow, which makes the movie run slow. Not to mention, they put Merry Pippin to sleep. Ouch. And also, John Rhys Davies, who plays Gimli, actually voices Treebeard. That's kind of cool. I think it was because they wanted to make it up to him for suffering with the makeup, because it is reported that he did suffer a lot with prosthetics. So I guess it was their way of saying sorry for the prosthetic rashes, which I can understand. We do have some new characters in this movie, mostly the people of Rohan, who are played by Miranda Otto, Brad Dourif, Carl Urban, and then we have Boromir's brother, Faramir, played by David Wenham. And in the extended edition, there's a scene where we get to see Faramir with Boromir and Denethor, who is to appear in this movie. And the whole idea of Faramir trying to take the ring from Frodo actually kind of makes sense with that scene, because we see that Denethor, or as Jeremy Jahns like to call him, Dickathor. If you see the movie, if you see Return of the King, you understand why he's called that, why Jeremy Jahns calls him that. But it's because Faramir's trying to prove himself to his father that he's not just number two, that he can actually, for lack of a better phrase, be equal to his brother Boromir, who we know has died. So that was a good scene to have in there. So all in all, this is a fun movie. I love the scenes with Gollum, even when I was in the theater seeing Unexpected Journey, every time they showed the Riddle in the Dark thing, I had a huge smile on my face because I love the character, because I thought the character was so cool. So yeah, that is my review for Two Towers. It's about 4 a.m. here, so I'll probably do this one tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys later. Hey guys, Sean here with my review of The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. If you watched the last two sections, I guess, of this overall video, I talked about Fellowship and Two Towers. So, like I said, I'm here about Return of the King, and of the Lord of the Rings movies, this is the only one I have on both the theatrical and extended cuts. Mainly because I can never find the other two on the extended cuts. So this is the only one I have. So yeah, and I basically watched this one for the review, which is like the other two movies. So let's see. This movie was released in 2003 under the direction, once again, by Peter Jackson, based on the second and third books, like Lord of the Rings books. It is the third and final installment in the Lord of the Rings series, following the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers, as well as preceding, as in coming before the Hobbit trilogy, released between the years 2012 and 2014. which are based on the 1937 book. So yeah, this movie was released on December 17, 2003, and received rave reviews and universal acclaim. Became one of the greatest critical and box office successes of all time. It was only the second film to gross $1 billion worldwide, becoming the highest grossing film released by New Line, as well as the biggest financial success for Time Warner in general, until Deathly Hallows Part 2 surpassed Return of the King's final gross in 2011. The movie was the highest grossing film of 2003, and by the end of its theatrical run, the second highest grossing film in history as of January 2016. It is the 13th highest grossing film in history. Wow. At the 1996, at the 76th Academy Awards, it won all 11 Academy Awards it was nominated for, therefore holding the record for the highest Oscar sweep. Wow. Pretty cool. But you guys aren't here for the mumbo jumbo. You're here for my thoughts on the movie. So, like I said, this is the third and final movie in the Lord of the Rings series, and it's also the sixth chronologically as far as the Middle-earth series. Basically, this movie is basically the last stretch. Frodo and Sam finally make it to Mount Doom, where they are going to destroy the ring, and Gollum is still basically showing them the way on how to get to Mount Doom, as well as there's also a side story. I guess you could call it a side story, well, whatever, of Aragorn having to learn to come to grips with his destiny of becoming the new king of Gondor. Even as far as Elrond, played by Hugo Weaving, reforging the swords of Narsil and making it called, and having it renamed Enduril, the Flame of the West. I guess is what it is. And also, we get a scene of Pippin, being overly curious, and so he looks at Palantir, which they got from Sauron, who, for some weird reason, does not appear in the theatrical cut, but is mentioned in it, though he does have a scene in the extended cut where basically he's stabbed by Grima Wormtongue, played by Brad Dourif, or Chucky as most horror fans probably know him, including me. And Legolas basically shoots Grima with an arrow, and Gandalf basically impaled, or not Gandalf, but Saruman is basically impaled on a spike. Also, after Gandalf basically busts Sauron's staff. It's pretty cool. Speaking of busted staffs, later in the movie, in the extended cut, the Witch King of Angmar, I'm sorry, Pale Witch King, but the Witch King of Angmar, for some, busts Gandalf's staff, and yeah, at the end of the movie, he has one. They don't really explain how that is, but I mean, in the theatrical cut, I was just assumed that Gandalf left his staff at Minas Tirith, but apparently in this, no, he gets it busted, which doesn't explain how he has one at the end, but that's a nitpick. That's just something I didn't understand, really. But yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. It's the best of the three, and I would probably say it's my second favorite of the six. Yes, I'm including the Hobbit movies into this, even though most people choose not to, but that's fine. Anyway, we have a scene where, because Pippin looks at the Palantir, the enemy, as they call him, Sauron, assumes that Pippin has the ring, so Gandalf takes him to Minas Tirith, where he'll be safe, where they run into a character named Denethor, played decently by John Noble, who's basically just kind of a dick, because his favorite son Boromir was killed in Fellowship of the Ring. He just lets Gondor go to ruin. Basically, he basically thinks that without Boromir to save Gondor, he just rather let Gondor suffer and die, pretty much. Even though his other son Faramir does everything he can to try to Phyllis Miller's place. But that's neither here nor there. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, best of the three. And I probably won't do that video. Who knows? I'll figure something out. But yeah, I really wanted to get this video out to you guys of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You know, before you guys kept asking me, Sean, when are you going to review the trilogy? When are you going to review Lord of the Rings? You know, I just figured to get this out to you guys before I get flooded with emails and comments and whatnot about, you know, when am I going to finally review Lord of the Rings? So now I've reviewed all six Middle-earth movies. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm really looking forward to Civil War in about 5 days. So look forward to my spoiler podcast with my nerd pack friends on my friend Tevia's channel. You know, we're gonna do a huge podcast. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Catch you guys later.